Nobody on this dock knows they are looking at the person who owns every inch of it. You arrive in a plain white t-shirt, worn sneakers, and jeans that could have come from any gas station rack. The harbor master does not recognize you. That is exactly how you want it. The Harbor View Marina is one of the most exclusive private marinas on the East Coast, with annual slip fees starting at $90,000. You own it through a holding company, the way you own almost everything, quietly, without fanfare, without your photograph anywhere on the premises. Your yacht is 3 miles offshore right now, rounding the outer headland. She is 280 feet long, white as paper, built without any compromise. The captain messaged you 40 minutes ago, and you told him to take his time. You want to walk this dock first. You want to see how your staff behaves when they believe the owner is not watching. A stocky man in his 40s, sunburned face, white uniform with gold epaulettes, steps directly into your path and looks you up and down slowly, from your sneakers to your plain collar. He asks if you have a guest pass or if you're here making a delivery. You tell him you have a slip reservation. He pulls out a tablet in the slow, deliberate way of someone who wants you to feel like a problem and types your name twice. The slip is registered under the holding company, not your personal name, and he does not make the connection. He tells you the reservation appears to belong to a corporate entity and that you will need to wait. You find a bench along the dock and sit down. From across the marina, a silver-haired man in his 60s, tailored navy blazer, pressed white slacks, tan leather loafers, has been watching the exchange with visible amusement. He has a drink in one hand at 9 in the morning. He walks over with the ease of old money. He says, loudly enough for everyone nearby to hear, that he hopes you are not one of those visitors who wander in from the public beach. He looks at the dockmaster and suggests a more thorough check of your identification. He does not look at you when he says it. You look up at the silver-haired man in his 60s, tailored navy blazer, pressed white slacks, tan leather loafers, without any particular expression. The water is still and bright behind him. You have built for companies and never once needed approval from someone like this. The dockmaster tells you he needs to call the marina manager before granting access to anyone claiming affiliation with a corporate account. He asks you to remain on the visitor bench and not proceed further. He says it with authority he does not actually have over you. While you wait, 2 guests stroll past. One of them, a woman in her 40s with a white gold tennis bracelet, glances at your sneakers, then at the silver-haired man in his 60s, tailored navy blazer, pressed white slacks, tan leather loafers, and they exchange a look that needs no words. You're used to this. 2 decades of building a fortune that does not show on your face or your clothes. The people who underestimated you along the way made your wealth easier to accumulate. Invisibility, when it is chosen rather than imposed, is its own kind of advantage. Your phone vibrates. The captain says the yacht is 1 nautical mile out and asks whether to hold offshore or bring her in. You type back 2 words, bring her. You set the phone face down on the bench and look toward the harbor mouth in the distance. The marina manager emerges from a glass building near the entrance. A sharp-faced woman in her 50s, auburn hair in a tight bun, charcoal blazer, pearl earrings. She walks with the purposeful calm of someone who handles disruptions for a living and has never once enjoyed it. She says this is a private facility and the berth in question is registered to a corporate entity. Without written authorization from that entity, she cannot allow access to any individual, regardless of what they claim. She delivers this with a smile designed to end the conversation entirely. You reach into your back pocket and hand her a single folded document, a notarized corporate authorization letter identifying you as the sole principal of Meridian Pacific Holdings. The sharp-faced woman in her 50s, auburn hair in a tight bun, charcoal blazer, pearl earrings, unfolds it with practiced skepticism. The silver-haired man in his 60s, tailored navy blazer, pressed white slacks, tan leather loafers, is watching from 6 feet away. He tells the manager not to be taken in by a piece of paper anyone could print at home. She does not respond to him at all. She reads the document once, then reads it again. Something in her expression shifts completely, the way a window goes from opaque to clear. She looks at the document, then at you. She asks, very quietly, if you're the principal of Meridian Pacific Holdings. You say yes. One word. You look past her toward the harbor mouth, where a shape has begun to emerge around the far edge of the breakwater. White and vast, and moving with the particular confidence of something that was never built to be modest. The dockmaster sees it first. He shields his eyes against the morning glare and goes completely silent mid-sentence. The silver-haired man in his 60s, tailored navy blazer, pressed white slacks, tan leather loafers, turns to see what stopped him. His drink lowers. His mouth opens. He says nothing. 280 feet of white hull slides through the harbor entrance like a building that learned to float. Her name is lettered cleanly across the stern. Meridian. 3 crew members in pressed uniforms stand at the bow. The water she displaces spreads in long, slow rings across the marina. Every conversation on the dock stops. Every head turns. She is longer than most of the buildings on the waterfront, and she moves without hurry, the way truly large things do. The marina has existed for 30 years, and nothing like her has ever entered through its gates. The sharp-faced woman in her 50s, auburn hair in a tight bun, charcoal blazer, pearl earrings, turns to you. She says your full name slowly, as if hearing it for the first time in a new register entirely. You confirm it. She steps back half a pace without meaning to. The dockmaster walks back with the rigid posture of a man who has understood precisely what he has done. He begins apologizing, and the words pile over each other. You raise one hand, barely, and he stops. The unfinished apology hangs in the air between you. The silver-haired man in his 60s, tailored navy blazer, pressed white slacks, tan leather loafers, walks to the dock edge and stares at the yacht. You watch him measure it in real time, the scale, the crew, what all costs. He turns around. He looks at you differently. He asks, quietly now, with none of the bourbon ease from earlier, if that is your boat. You look at him the same way he looked at you when he suggested you might be a trespasser. You say yes. The harbor fills the silence that follows. Staff are appearing from buildings across the marina, straightening uniforms, repositioning themselves. Guests on the upper deck of the clubhouse have gathered at the railing to watch. Word moves through a place like this the way current moves underwater, invisible until everything turns the same direction. The silver-haired man in his 60s, tailored navy blazer, pressed white slacks, tan leather loafers, introduces himself and mentions his family has held a berth here for 18 years. He says he hopes there are no hard feelings about any misunderstanding. That word is carrying a very heavy load. You tell him his slip renewal comes up for review next month. You say it without malice and without a smile. His expression does not fall. It does something more precise than that. It simply goes still. Behind you, your captain descends the gangway and offers your jacket. You put the jacket on and turn to face the dock. The dockmaster, the manager, the silver-haired man, the guests at the railing. They are all watching the same person they dismissed an hour ago. The quiet ones always outlast the loud ones. Like and subscribe for more.